They say that life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass, but about learning to dance in the rain. A beautiful thought, isn't it? But what happens when you've danced through decades of storms? What does the calm after the rain truly hold for us? Welcome to Timeless Elderly Wisdom. Today, we're not here to simply talk about getting older. We are here to embark on a quiet journey together, to explore the profound wisdom that only blossoms with time. We will uncover 7 foundational truths, timeless advice that can help transform these golden years into the most joyful and meaningful chapter of your life. And so, we arrive at our first foundational truth. We've all heard the timeless phrase, health is wealth. For most of our lives, we understood this in the simplest terms. Not being sick, the absence of pain. But as we enter our golden years, this piece of elderly wisdom reveals a much deeper meaning. Have you ever truly considered that our emotional and mental well-being are the real gold and silver in that treasure chest? True health, in this beautiful chapter, is not just about the body. It is the quiet contentment in our hearts, the gentle peace in our thoughts, the light of curiosity that still shines in our eyes. This holistic view, this understanding that our mind, body, and spirit are deeply connected, is the very foundation of a positive aging mindset. I remember a gentleman I once knew who, after retiring, felt a bit lost, a bit gray. His days felt empty. Then, his daughter encouraged him to join a small community garden down the street. He started simply, just tending to a small patch of tomatoes. But soon, something began to change. It wasn't just the sun on his back or the soil on his hands. It was the quiet conversations with the woman tending her roses nearby. It was the pride in seeing that first red tomato ripen. It was a reason to get up in the morning. His health wasn't just improving from the gentle exercise. His spirit was being nourished. His heart was finding connection. Nurturing this complete sense of well-being doesn't require grand, sweeping changes. It can begin with the smallest of steps. Perhaps a simple 15-minute walk each morning. Not for speed, but to feel the air and notice the world waking up. Perhaps taking 5 minutes just for yourself to practice deep, calming breaths, letting go of worries with every exhale. Or perhaps, at the end of each day, writing down 3 small things you are grateful for. A warm cup of coffee, a phone call from a loved one, the comfort of your favorite chair. These small acts are the seeds from which true wellness grows. Our journey now leads us to the second truth, a lesson that often takes a lifetime to fully embrace. It is the gentle art of letting go. Think of your past as a backpack that you carry on this journey. For many of us, that backpack is heavy. Inside, we carry the weight of words we wish we hadn't said, or words we wish we had. We carry the ghosts of opportunities we feel we missed, the lingering sting of old grievances, the heavy stones of regret. We carry them for so long, we often forget they are even there. We just know that we feel tired. This specific piece of elderly wisdom is not about forgetting. Your memories, both light and dark, have shaped the incredible person you are today. Forgetting is not the goal. Freedom is. Letting go is the quiet, courageous decision to no longer allow the past to be the anchor that holds you from the calm harbors of the present. Imagine 2 travelers walking along the same path. The first traveler, for every sorrow he encounters, for every mistake he makes, he picks up a small stone and puts it in his pack. Year after year, his bag grows heavier, his shoulders ache, and his gaze is fixed on the ground beneath his feet. The second traveler sees the same stones. He picks one up. He feels its texture, its weight, its coldness. He acknowledges the story it represents. And then, with intention, he places it back down on the side of the road and continues on his way. His journey is lighter. His eyes are free to see the beauty around him. Which traveler do you think found peace at the end of the road? Releasing these stones is a deeply personal act. If you feel ready, you might try a small, symbolic ritual. Find a quiet moment, just for you. Take a piece of paper and write down a burden you've been carrying. a regret, a name, a fear. You don't have to show it to anyone. Then safely release it. You might tear the paper into the smallest pieces. You might burn it and watch the smoke drift away. As you do, take a deep breath and feel the space that is left behind. A space for peace. A space for you. Once we have made space by letting go, we can begin to let in. This brings us to our third, and perhaps most vital truth. Connection is the lifeline for the soul. In a world that feels faster and more distant than ever, in an age of endless scrolling and fleeting images, what does true, heartfelt connection really mean for us? There is a quiet ache that can visit us in our later years. It is the ache of loneliness. It's not simply about being alone. Many of us cherish our solitude. No, this is a different kind of silence. It's the feeling of being unseen, unheard. The feeling that your stories, your laughter, your wisdom no longer have a place to land. Actively seeking and nurturing our bonds with others is one of the most powerful secrets to living well as seniors. It is the medicine for which there is no prescription. I often think of a particular wooden bench in a park I used to visit. Every Tuesday morning, without fail, 3 old friends would gather there. They didn't do much. Sometimes they talked for hours, their laughter echoing softly in the air. Other times, they would just sit in comfortable silence, simply sharing the space, watching the world go by. Their bond wasn't built on grand events or exciting adventures anymore. It was built on presence, on the simple, profound reassurance of knowing you are not alone. I am here. That shared warmth is a lifeline. Reaching out doesn't have to be a grand gesture. It can be found in the shared smiles at a local book club, or the sense of purpose in volunteering for a cause you believe in. It can be as simple as deciding to make one phone call each week, to dial a number you know by heart, and hear a familiar voice light up on the other end. Because in the end, it is the love we give and the love we receive that truly makes our hearts feel at home. When we fill our lives with connection, we naturally begin to think about what we will leave behind. This brings us to our fourth truth, a profound realization for this chapter of life. Your story is your most precious legacy. You have lived through history that others only read about in books. You have seen the world change in ways a younger generation can barely imagine. Have you ever paused to think that your memories are not just memories? They are treasures waiting to be unearthed. For much of our lives, the word legacy is tied to material things. A house, savings, possessions we've gathered. And while those things have their place, the most powerful legacy is the one we leave inside the hearts and minds of those we love. It is the story of your first love, the smell of your mother's kitchen, the lesson you learned from your greatest failure, the resilience you discovered during your hardest times. These are not just old anecdotes. They are powerful life lessons for over 60s. Lessons on love, on courage, on loss, and on joy that no textbook can ever teach. I knew a grandmother who, in her late 70s, began to feel her memories fading like old photographs. So, she bought a simple notebook, and every day, she wrote. Not a perfect diary, but fragments of her life. The taste of sugar cane in her childhood, the sound of the music at her wedding, the fear and hope she felt holding her first child. She thought she was just writing for herself, a quiet conversation with her own past. Years later, after she was gone, her grandson found that notebook, and as he read her words, she came alive again. He wasn't just reading facts. He was feeling her joy, understanding her struggles. That simple notebook became the most cherished heirloom in their family, a bridge built of paper and ink, connecting generations. Preserving your legacy doesn't require writing a novel. It can be as simple as buying a notebook and jotting down a memory whenever it comes to you. It can be as easy as using a phone to record yourself telling a favorite family story. It can be as joyful as sitting with your grandchildren, looking through an old photo album, and for the first time, telling them the stories behind the smiling faces. Your story matters. It is a gift that only you can give, and it is priceless. As we honor the stories of our past, Our next truth invites us to joyfully engage with the present. It is the wonderful discovery that curiosity is the engine of a youthful mind. Who said learning has a deadline? Who decided that wonder belongs only to the young? The most vibrant minds at any age are the ones that never stop asking why and what if. There is a misconception in our world that as we age, we are meant to become fixed, like a book that has already been written. But this is not true. Think of your mind like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger, more flexible, and more resilient it becomes. This commitment to curiosity, to staying engaged with the world, is the very essence of embracing aging not as an ending, but as a new and exciting phase of growth. It is about keeping the windows of your mind open and letting the fresh air of new ideas flow in. I think of a gentleman, an 80-year-old widower, who felt his world had become very small. His family gave him a simple tablet for his birthday. At first, he was hesitant, but then he discovered he could use it to explore the world. From his favorite armchair, he visited the pyramids of Egypt. He took a virtual walk through the streets of Paris, where he had honeymooned 60 years ago. His world didn't just get bigger, his spirit soared. I also remember a woman of 82 who decided to learn Italian, not to travel, but simply for the joy of it. The sparkle in her eye as she mastered a new phrase was more radiant than any jewel. Keeping this engine of curiosity running doesn't require enrolling in university. It can be as simple as choosing to watch a documentary on a subject you know nothing about. The vast oceans, the distant stars, the life of an artist. It can be found by walking into a library or bookstore and picking a novel from a shelf you would normally ignore. It can be as delicious as finding a new recipe online and giving your senses a brand new experience. Stay curious. It is the secret to adding not just years to your life, but life to your years. After a life of reaching for the new, our sixth truth invites us to find richness in the familiar. It is the discovery of finding profound purpose in life's simple joys. We spend so much of our youth chasing grand achievements. The next promotion, the bigger house, the louder applause. We run a race, often without questioning the finish line. But perhaps the greatest achievement of our golden years is learning to find the extraordinary in the ordinary, to find magic in the mundane. This shift in perspective is a beautiful way of starting your golden years, not with a sense of loss for what was, but with a sense of wonder for what is. The purpose is no longer out there to be chased. It is right here, in this moment, in this breath. Imagine an elderly person sitting quietly in a chair by the window. To a younger person rushing by, they might seem to be doing nothing, but they are not. They are noticing the way the sunlight streams in, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. They are listening to the distant song of a bird. They feel the slow, unhurried rhythm of their own breathing. In that simple moment of observation, there is no past to regret and no future to worry about. There is only peace, and in that peace, there is a profound sense of purpose. This is the heart of what many call mindfulness. It sounds like a complicated word, but it is the simplest thing in the world. It is the gentle art of paying attention, of bringing your full awareness to the present moment, without judgment. You can practice this right now. The next time you drink your morning tea or coffee, truly drink it. Feel the warmth of the mug in your hands. Notice the rich aroma. Taste each sip as if it is the first and only one you will ever have. When you walk, even just from one room to the next, pay attention to the feeling of your feet on the floor, the solid ground supporting you with every step. This is not about emptying your mind. It is about filling it with the quiet, beautiful, and simple reality of the here and now. This is where true contentment lives. And now, we arrive at our final truth, the one that gathers all the others into its embrace. It is the most challenging and the most liberating. It is the truth of acceptance. We spend a lifetime in a gentle, and sometimes not so gentle, fight. We fight against time, against our changing bodies, against the limitations that life places upon us. But what if the final most profound act of strength is not to fight, but to accept. This, perhaps, is the most rewarding piece of timeless advice of all. Acceptance is not surrender. It is not giving up or letting go of hope. No, it is a peace treaty with reality. It is the quiet, powerful act of saying to life, I see you as you are, and I will find peace here. It is looking at your reflection, the silver in your hair, the lines around your eyes, and seeing not a loss, but a map of a life fully lived. A map of laughter and of tears, of worries overcome, and of joys deeply felt. Think of an old, magnificent tree. In its youth, it spent all its energy growing taller, reaching for the sun. But now, it no longer grows upward. Instead, its energy has gone inward. Its roots have grown deeper, gripping the earth with an unshakable strength. Its trunk has grown wider, its bark more gnarled, each line a testament to the storms it has weathered. It no longer reaches for the heavens. Instead, it provides shade and shelter for all who gather beneath it. Its beauty is no longer in its ambition, but in its presence, in its profound, quiet acceptance of what it has become. We, too, can learn from this tree. We can practice this acceptance in small, gentle ways. Instead of mourning the stairs you can no longer run up, can you feel gratitude for the legs that can still walk you to the window to see the sunrise? Instead of frustration with a hand that trembles, can you feel appreciation for the thousands of meals it has prepared, the letters it has written, the loved ones it has held? This is the final freedom, the freedom from the struggle against what is. Perhaps you might take a moment later today, in the privacy of your own heart, or on a piece of paper, and write down one thing about your life or about yourself that you can choose to accept fully and without judgment. Just for today, in this acceptance, you will not find defeat. You will find a peace that passes all understanding. So, from embracing our total health, to the freedom of letting go, the treasures found in our stories, the joy of curiosity, the deep peace in simple moments, and the ultimate freedom of acceptance. These 7 truths are not just ideas. They are pillars. Pillars upon which we can build a truly joyful and meaningful life, especially after 60. They are the heart of timeless elderly wisdom. As you reflect on our time together, I invite you to ask yourself, which of these truths resonated with your heart the most right now? Remember, this chapter of your life is not an epilogue. It is not the closing credits. It is the masterpiece you are still creating, stroke by gentle, knowing stroke. And your wisdom is a vital part of our community here. Please, take a moment to share your own piece of wisdom in the comments below. What is one truth you have learned on your journey that you would pass on to others? If this message touched you today, please consider sharing it with a friend or loved one. You never know whose heart might need to hear these words. And of course, to continue this journey of reflection with us, we warmly invite you to subscribe to Timeless Elderly Wisdom and click the notification bell so you never miss a moment with our growing community. Thank you for spending your precious time with us today. May your days be filled with peace, your heart with joy, and your spirit with the light of timeless wisdom. We look forward to seeing you in our next video.